Cinema Steven here, and this is your review of Extraction 2, the Netflix action-packed sequel to Extraction 1, obviously. And I have to say that I enjoyed this movie very, very much. It's very much a throwback of the old 90s action movies where it's just nonstop action, explosions, gunfights, fisticuffs, and it's, of course, leading man Chris Hemsworth is a very commanding presence in these movies. He's a god amongst men. Okay, let's face it. I mean, who doesn't love Chris Hemsworth? And he just fits so well in these movies like that. His commanding presence is just such a throwback, basically. And I do have to say that his character named Tyler Rake, I mean, that just sounds badass, you know? And I think if you're going to be named after a guarding tool, I think Rake definitely sounds the toughest. But as far as the movie goes, it's its own sequel. You don't necessarily have to see the first one, I guess, but it does help. There is some bit of continuity between the two, but this movie stands alone, and I actually preferred the sequel over the first one. And I have to say that there is a 21-minute one-shot sequence in this movie, much similar to the first one. This one has a 21-minute one-shot, and what that means is the camera does not make any cuts. It stays with the action as if you're filming along with a handheld camcorder, and it's just absolutely amazing cinematography. And I went to go do some research on this, and it apparently took 5 to 6 months just to rehearse that one-shot take, and it took about 27 days to film it perfectly. And it's just insane how much work that they go into that. And it's a car chase sequence that leads from outside of a prison. It's absolutely amazing how they set the entire sequence up. I mean, that alone was worth the price of the Netflix subscription, I guess. I don't know. But it's also co-written by the Russo brothers. They came back and wrote this one, and they obviously, known for their Marvel and Avengers and stuff like that. But what I also thought was really impressive is that this movie is directed by Chad Hargraves, who is a stuntman. Much like Chad Stahelski from the John Wick movies, he is another stuntman who did stunts for a lot of the Marvel movies. And I'm thinking, man, these stuntmen are the best directors for this action stuff because they know it so personally, and it shows and exemplifies on the screen. So if you have Netflix, which most of you probably do, I highly recommend the Extraction series, and especially Extraction 2.